So I wanted to talk to you about a term called noblesse oblige, and again, it's probably it's French origins. So the way that I say it is not noblesse oblige. I don't speak French, so I know my pronunciation is not great. But it's basically this idea that it's the obligation of nobility, right? Or people of high ranking, prestige or privilege to act honorably and nobly and give back, right? So, you know, so a noble action, a noble obligation. And Andrew Carnegie was one who gave millions of dollars in the Carnegie Foundation. I think I remember hearing it on PBS and things like that, and I know that um, his foundation that he endowed and things like that he left are huge. The amount of money is out of control, and Carnegie Mellon is one of the best universities, arguably in the world. So, you look at these things, and if you can, you know, think of people with excess or surplus where it's more than any human would ever need if they can give that back to humanity, right? In really thoughtful, um, prudent action. If they could give it back to, say, education or sustainable farming, or I mean, and I think actually Andrew Carnegie Foundation did stuff with destruction of nuclear weapons or nuclear power plant or something like that, where they were actually trying to use the money to improve, in their opinion, humanity. People will argue, about the cleanliness of nuclear power. It's the aftermath that we have to look at, the waste. But neither here nor there. That's not what it's about. It's about really looking at when you have a surplus of wealth, um, to give it back. So I actually have to think about when you have a surplus of health, wellness, time, energy, awareness, can you also give that back? So it doesn't have to be, we don't need to get swallowed up in the monetary, the really kind of, I got to give all this money, I got to donate, I got to be philanthropic. And well, I think that if you can be genuine in giving your time and your energy, your own health and wellness to someone else that maybe is not in the best situation, then you are doing the same thing. They don't have to be these big grandiose actions. They don't have to be hundreds of millions of dollars or thousands of dollars. You can do these little acts, not necessarily random, acts of kindness, but you can recognize that there's someone who needs your ki- kind of surplus of whatever it may be. And that surplus, when I look at that, I think of, do you have a little extra time to give? Um, Maybe, do you have a little extra money to contribute? Do you have the ability to give a gift, not on a birthday or on a holiday? Uh, you give a gift just because you know it'll make the person feel good. You know that it'll lift their spirits. You know that they'll feel appreciated and recognized. Um, do you talk to somebody that you haven't talked? Do you reach out to somebody? Do you stay in touch with someone? And these are the things that I think that the noblesse oblige can be. um, Andrew Carnegie too, when you talk about Andrew Carnegie, he has a quote, something hyper competitive, so he's like something along the lines like, the first one there gets the oyster, the second one gets the shell. So he's like, he's a winner, right? He wants to win at all costs. Massively competitive. Didn't really apologize about it, and I think that he reached these levels of you know massive wealth and um, properties and things like that. But I think he might have realized that it's his obligation to give that back, to um, understand he can't take it with him. But if he gets to that level, and he reaches that level and maintains that level with massive amounts of surplus, that he has to give it back. So, as competitive as he was and as cutthroat as he was, He had a deep philosophy inside him. And, as I spoke with my athletes, and I don't know if I'll go, do another kind of talk about it, but see, I don't think character is a snapshot. Like, you can't meet somebody and know their character. I don't think you can know somebody for 4 or 5 years and know their character. I think character is something that can only be assessed at your funeral. See, I think character is something that can evolve and change throughout one's life. Character is something that I think is a constant quest. And so when we look at, Andrew Carnegie, if you took a judgment of him when he's trying to, make a huge business deal, and he is ruthless in that business deal or that merger or whatever it may be, maybe his end goal and his character should be judged when he gave those millions back to society and to humanity. Again, it's something for you to look into. It's something for you to think a little bit deeper on. I'm not going to give you all the back and front of it, um, but like I've said in everything, is am I really teaching anybody anything? No, I'm not. Is anything that I've learned just from thin air? No, I've learned it all through other things or seen or heard. So I'm stealing all my information, and then do you think about it? Does it make you think about how you could do a very noble act today? Something that's just nice and good for somebody who may not be feeling great. So, take the big idea and keep it simple. And, maybe those little things that we do help a small kind of, microbiome of humanity a little bit better today.